Do you wanna make infinite combos and learn different plays with the same technique? Well, with Ecstasy Jump Cancel, this is possible. Yo, what's up? I'm Venomous and today I'm gonna be teaching you one of the most useful techniques of Devil May Cry 4. Ecstasy Jump Cancel lets you launch enemies and instantly follow or execute the next step of your play, and I'll teach step by step to learn it. The first thing you need to know is, timing and positioning are the most important things to perform this jump cancel. Each enemy has his own hitbox, so it will be easier on some enemies. I recommend you to practice on scarecrows, since they don't have any armor and their hitbox is not the biggest. So, when you learn them, you'll probably learn the other enemies easily. To find the timing, I recommend you to shoot the enemies with Ebony and Ivory before trying the Ecstasy Jump Cancel. This will give you a similar setup every time. After launching the enemy, jump, shoot, and then use Ecstasy and jump in the exact moment the enemy is being launched upwards. Remember to adjust your height and adjust your timing. Using Ecstasy too low will not let you jump cancel. It may take some time to get consistent, but once you do, you can go to the next step. To teleport to the enemy, while in Trickster, slide your finger from your jump button to the style button while your left analog stick is pointing forward. Sometimes, when you perform the Ecstasy Jump Cancel, the next row does not come out, so if you want to practice multiple jump cancels in a row, you'll need to switch your swords to avoid this. I recommend you switch to Rebellion, shoot with Ebony and Ivory, execute Area Wraith, then use Ecstasy again. Sliding faster will make Dante teleport below the enemy. There's a lot of different results that you can have by sliding on different speeds. If you don't want to spend much time this step, just get used to a single height and you can proceed. It'll be enough to perform infinite combos. There are some cool plays to do sliding your finger. With the left analog stick pointing backwards, you can shoot with Ebony and Ivory, then with Pandora, and teleport back to the enemy. However, if you take too much time to shoot, you cancel inertia. With the left analog stick on the neutral position, you will pass below the enemy, then shoot with Ebony and Ivory, teleport to the enemy, shoot again while switching to Gunslinger, and press the style button to use Restore. Something that people don't talk about that much is the fact that by using Ecstasy, your pins explode and this jump cancel is useful for a lot of reasons. By jump cancelling Ecstasy, you have enough time to teleport to the enemy and stop his momentum. You can do it by shooting with Ebony and Ivory and following with Full House or other methods. It can also be useful for situations like in this combo. There's a glitch where Dante can launch the enemy just by touching it, and it involves this jump cancel. When you jump cancel Ecstasy, sometimes there will be no rose particles, and that means that the launching property is passed to the rose that is in Dante's mouth. However, to launch the enemy, you need to hit it at least 16 times after jump cancelling, without throwing another rose or switching swords. After launching the enemy, you can launch it again after 16 more hits. However, using Ecstasy again or switching swords will deactivate the glitch. On the special edition, that number of hits is way higher. If you're playing on console, it's not worthy to activate the glitch using this method. I'll teach another later. If you have access to mods, Super Trainer V9 restores back to 16 hits. The best ways to hit the enemy are with Coyote A, because it usually causes 10 hits, then with Pandora's Jealousy, which causes 7, Yamato Zero Ray V, that causes 2, Splash, especially if you stick the pins to the enemy, since you hit the enemy even without sticking. If you stick, it counts as an extra hit. So executing double splash, you get 8 hits. The last good move is Rainstorm. Depending on the position and time you keep holding the style button, the amount of hits can be different. After getting the hits, you have some ways to touch the enemy. I'll teach you some. Passing through the enemy, which is done by using Skystar below the enemy. Jump cancelling Skystar. In this one, you and the enemy need to be at the same height. Guard fly. It works in the same way, by being at the same height. Rainstorm. There's no secret. You just need to make sure you're as close as possible to the enemy. Climax. You need inertia for this one. After getting it, you just have to position Dante below the enemy. Yamato Zero Ray V. You need to be at the same height as the enemy. Splash. Being below the enemy, Splash launches the enemy easily. You can be very creative with your setups to hit the enemy. It's possible to include inertia strings and guard flying, for example. Here are some setup ideas for this glitch. For this setup, I don't recommend you to teleport sliding your finger because you need to be above the usual. The same goes for this one too. These other variations are so precise that a single frame can result in different reactions, so I'll not show the controls on the screen because it will be useless. There's a specific timing where you can activate the glitch without needing to hit the enemy. So if you play DMC4 Special Edition on console, you can use this glitch this way. The problem is, the time is really precise, and the enemy will not be launched at the beginning. And for the last, you can avoid the glitch by jump cancelling at the last moment, so the next rows will appear. To have enough time, I recommend you to be a bit above the usual. If you're executing it right, Ecstasy's particles will appear. And I think that's it. Leave a like and subscribe to support and watch more videos like this. See you next time.